When you've been swinging angles in CS2, you might not realize you're not moving as fast as possible. When you're planning on swinging into an angle to catch the enemy off guard, you want to be building up your speed for as long as possible so you reach maximum velocity before you peak the angle. On the top left, you can see my velocity or my movement speed being shown by the VEL, and this is so I can show the example for you. The maximum speed you can go when you're holding out an M4 is 225, and when I swing an angle from close like this, you can see I'm not reaching the maximum speed by the time I'm peaking into the connector angle. If anyone was there holding me from connector, then they would have just a little bit easier of a time killing me than if I were to build up my maximum velocity. But when you start your swing from much further away, you see you build up enough speed to reach maximum velocity. That's why sometimes when you get swung, you're wondering how the enemy was moving so fast. It's usually because they were swinging from far enough away, so they're moving at maximum speed, and you're not always used to that. So basically, just understand that when you're swinging into an angle that you think an enemy might be at, try and swing from further away so you're moving faster and you'll have a higher % chance at the kill. When you're in a spray battle with an enemy, make sure you're not always just standing still while spraying, because this can lead to you dying very easily. Although we all know we're accurate when we're standing still, you're also very accurate when you're crouching and moving in a direction. If I spray this cup on the wall, you can see I can spray it here just standing still, and that's perfectly fine. But if I crouch and move towards the right, you can see my spray is still very accurate, maybe even more accurate because I am crouching. So when you peek into an enemy, you can just crouch and keep moving, offset their crosshair, making yourself harder to kill and giving yourself more time to get the spray down. This has been known recently as like the donk slide or like the Tarek peek, because Tarek was very popular in using this crouch and spraying technique. And now Donk is doing something where if he sees an enemy, he will instantly crouch and start spraying, moving towards the opposite direction of which he swung. But either way, whatever you call it, this crouch and spraying technique has been used in the game for many years, and it's something that you should be abusing in your games today. Another mechanic you really need to understand in this game is left eye versus right eye peeks. In CS2, the player's camera is actually more towards the right side of the head, so when you peek an angle with your right eye showing first, the peek will be completely normal to you. But when you peek an angle with your left eye showing first, your body is actually shown to the angle before your eyes can even see. So as you can see in these side-by-side clips, the person with the right eye peek can barely see the enemy before the enemy on the left side can even see them. And in a game like Counter-Strike where peeks are in a matter of milliseconds, this small thing can be a huge advantage when you're taking a peek. So just make sure you're not standing on any angles where your left side is showing first to the enemy, and also understand when you have the advantage of a right eye peek. When you're using a pistol, you need to understand that you don't really ever have to stop moving. Now this is especially true with the Glock, but it's also true with the USP. But when you peek into angles like peeking into CT, you don't really have to stop and counter strafe to start shooting. You can just keep moving, shooting, and spamming into the angle, and your bullets are going to go into the right place. You can even swing the angle and then just pre-fire your timing on your shot, so you can swing and then just keep pre-firing the shot back and forth, and your bullets will go into the right place, and you're going to be very annoying for the CTs. And like I said, this also works for the CT's USP, but maybe just not as accurate, but it is still pretty accurate, and you can do the same thing just running back and forth. You never really have to stop. Your bullets won't just fly around like if you have a rifle. So if I try to do this with a rifle, obviously the bullets are not going to go very accurately towards the position I'm trying to shoot, but just understand the pistols are different. You don't really have to stop to shoot for a lot of situations. Another mechanic for the pistols is if you were trying to do this moving and shooting, but the enemy is very far, it's not going to be as accurate as if they were close like I was showing in the other example, so this might not be as good. But if you do the same thing I was showing with the crouch and spraying technique, look at how accurate my shots are. So if someone's CT and you want to try and like swing them and peek them but catch them off guard, you can do this mechanic of just like crouching and trying to spray them down, and it might work. If you always just crouch into the angle, stop here and fight, you're going to be a very easy kill. But if you just keep moving while crouched, your bullets are going to be so accurate and you're probably going to get the kill. Today's video is sponsored by SkinsMonkey. SkinsMonkey is an automated trading site that allows you to take some of your old skins and trade them in for some new ones. There are a ton of skins on the site, but if you are looking for something specific, you can use the filter to find the skin that you are looking for. When you're making your first trade on the site, make sure to use my code GRAPE to get a bonus of up to $5 for free. If you see a skin on the site that you want but you don't have one of equal value, you can also deposit money with a 30% bonus plus an extra 5% if you use my code GRAPE at checkout. And if you don't have anything to trade, they also do free giveaways every day, so there's literally nothing to lose by joining SkinsMonkey. So just make sure to use the link in my description and have fun trading. When you're walking off of a spot, you don't always have to be making noise like this. All you have to do is just be crouching when you're falling off and then uncrouch right before you hit the ground. That way you're going to be super silent and give no information to the enemies. This is super important for positions like car towards banana, because obviously if you're playing towards banana, you don't want to just give the CTs random sound cues by jumping off of car. You could even use this when you're exiting top hut on nuke, because otherwise you're making a ton of noise and you're just telling the T's where you are. There's really too many examples to show because this mechanic is used on every single map. Just make sure you know how to do it and use it when necessary. You can make jumps like this from Tetris to stairs without making any footstep when you land. As you can see, usually when you make this jump, there's a small step that you make when you land, so if anyone was playing towards stairs, they would easily hear you and just look up and kill you. But when you jump from one spot to another and they're of equal height, if you press S right before you land, you won't make any noise at all. You do still make a little bit of noise when you jump from this part, but you won't make any noise when you land. I don't know what situation you would need this mechanic here, but as you can see, I'm making a lot of noise. But if I just press S before I land, I'm not going to make any noise at all.